Hey traders, welcome back to the FXE YouTube channel. We had some really interesting price action yesterday, so wanted to do a quick review prior to Japan Open. So I'm on the daily time frame. You can see we had a huge drop on this candle here. So I was expecting this at one point or another, assuming that potentially we are in a bullish scenario, because you can see there's inefficiency below that you need to come back for before it drives further to the upside. So this was expected for price to come into this inefficiency before it pushes further to the upside, assuming we are in a bullish scenario. But to be completely honest, I'm not sure that's in fact the case, mainly because we didn't have a body closure above the structure high. I would have liked to see the bodies close above this high to confirm that yes, in fact we are bullish. What we can say is we closed above the bodies, but I would have a lot more confidence if the body closure was above that high, and we didn't make it. So on this time frame, I'm not 100% convinced that the bullish scenario is in fact in play. But if we go to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we did have body closures on the 4-hour time frame, and we actually had several candles above there. So this gives me a little confidence that maybe we are in fact in a bullish scenario, and this pullback, this massive drive down, is just to take out the inefficiency either at the fair value gap or at the order block before the next move to the upside. This is assuming a bullish scenario. So like I said, on the daily we haven't confirmed that, so there is a potential for price to just continue and drive to the downside. But I'm a little optimistic right now, and I will be looking for longs once we start to get into these areas. The 1 hour is actually the cleanest for me because you can see most of this is, I mean, there's a little inefficiency here, but it's already come back and taken that. But the main inefficiency that's left behind is this fair value gap here at the bottom. So this is an area that I'm looking for shifts to potentially take the price to the upside. And what I'll be looking for today, if I go to the 15-minute time frame, you can see price as it's been driving down. So here it came up. There's not really so much that's that clear, but what I can assume is there's probably some inefficient price action above this wick right here, and that's what price was driving for. We have fair value gaps all the way down that price came back to. It's actually 5-minute fair value gaps that price came back to before continuing to the downside. It's more or less efficient all through this area, except for the current price range that we're at right now. So I have alarms going off because as of right now it's 30 minutes before Japan opens, and I want to have this video uploaded before then in case a trade sets up. So you can see we're already starting to push up. So my guess is during Japan Open or after Japan Open, price will come to this inefficient area and probably give a fake out, and then later continue up, breaking this high and the inefficient area up here. So we could see this as a liquidity grab before price continues further to the upside. And you need to be careful because yes, we have a clear fair value gap here, but everything above this is also an order block, so it could come deeper into the order block, potentially to the extreme. But for me, this should be protected, and I don't expect price to go above this high. It's not to say it can't happen, but the optimal scenario for me is to see price come within this range, somewhere above this order block into this fair value gap and look for setups. The only problem is it may be really aggressive and nothing clean. So if you don't have something clean, the likelihood to catch the trade from the extreme, it'll have to be a risk entry. And thereafter, our target is clear. Once we get something in this area, whether we get a shift or not, remains to be seen. I'm thinking it's going to be more risk entry that you'll have to enter to catch this, but it'll probably drive down really quick, probably consolidate in this area before the next push to the downside. And you want to target this fair value gap, somewhere within this fair value gap. And if we see some sort of shift in this area, then I'll be looking for longs. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. I'll be looking for longs at this point. But it also depends on the timing, because if this happens in London session, then definitely I'll take the long. But if I have to wait for New York Open, I'll wait, because we have a lot of news today. We even have news during Europe London session. We have mostly PMI related news for multiple countries, and then we have the EUR region as a whole. And then in New York session, we have several key news events. We also have CAD news as well. So CAD news could affect the dollar, which would affect the rest of the majors. But the ones I'm most concerned with are, we have some unemployment news 30 minutes after New York Open, but the key one is NFP. So NFP is also 30 minutes after New York Open, and this will probably give some whipsaws before the intended direction. And then we also have manufacturing PMI 45 minutes after New York Open. And then we also have, that's S&P manufacturing PMI, but we also have ISM manufacturing PMI an hour, 2 hours after New York Open. And the S&P manufacturing PMI, I was wrong with the timing. It's an hour and 45 minutes after New York Open, and ISM manufacturing PMI is 2 hours after New York Open. So those are important events, all three of those that you need to watch for, because there will be an impact on the price. So if you get an entry during London session at these lows, and the price starts to push up, when New York comes around, make sure to take profits. And to be completely honest, this may not happen because we have the anticipation of the news. So price may just consolidate and wait for the news before it starts the next move. And if that's the case, then it's better not to be in a trade. The only reason why it would make sense to be in a trade is if this is already pushed back up to the previous range. You get an entry at the extreme. You're going to want to take profits off before the news, and then even if it does go up, the likelihood that you have a massive manipulation before it drives up is high. I don't see this as one of those type of moves like sometimes you get with PMI, where it just continues and continues one direction. I mean, I don't see this as one of those type of moves. I see this as one of the NFP at least, as one of the whipsaw type of moves where it goes deep and drives for mitigation before it starts pushing in the opposite, in the intended direction. Okay, well anyways, that's it for my quick update. Like I said, I wanted to give a really quick update after the really interesting price action. I don't want you to be confused with this huge drop if we do have a bullish scenario in play, because this is normal. Price needs to come to mitigate these unmitigated areas before continuing to the upside if this is a bullish scenario. Okay, anyways, trade safe today and be very conscious of the news that's coming up. Don't let it cause a loss because you weren't aware of it. Either don't be in the market during that news and wait for the proper structure to be put in place before getting into the news. But like I said, if you're in from the extreme and it's already pushed up, then it's okay to hold it. Just make sure you take something off before that news hits. Okay, trade safe today, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace. Hey, you made it to the very end. Thanks for that. If you could do me one more favor and click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, it'll allow the YouTube algos to kick in and help this channel grow. Thanks again. Cheers.